Good morning, everyone, and thank you for choosing Market Briefing, market analysis, and financial news. Every day, our goal is to provide you with a thorough and knowledgeable analysis of the most relevant financial news to help you navigate the complex economic landscape. Let's begin our daily review. Market analysis, October 31, 2023. First up, the Japanese yen tumbled over 1.5% against the US dollar yesterday, its steepest decline in 2 months. This followed the Bank of Japan's policy meeting where only minor tweaks were announced instead of the aggressive easing some had anticipated. The BOJ said its approach to yield curve control will be more flexible going forward, though it still views the 1% target as a reference point. Disappointed yen traders quickly sent the currency back above 150 per dollar on the news. The BOJ has tightly controlled bond yields through its yield curve policy since 2016. This latest shift marks the first real test of Japan's tolerance for further yen depreciation, according to analysts. Any unexpected hawkish signals from the Fed's meeting tomorrow or increased Treasury issuance could accelerate the yen slide. On the upside, the prospect of sustained yen weakness and negative rates points to more equity gains, according to Bank CIS. The Nikkei 225 added another 0.5% yesterday, bringing its 2022 rally to 18% year-to-date. Prolonged loose monetary policy is seen buoying Japanese stocks despite downturns across global markets. In Europe, major indices also rose yesterday on the back of upbeat earnings. Anheuser-Busch and Stellantis both beat expectations, driving the Euro Stoxx 50 up 0.3%. S&P 500 futures are up this morning as well, signaling a 1% rebound after Monday's rally. Yesterday's gains came despite the U.S. Treasury reducing its federal borrowing estimate for the current quarter. The revision was thanks to higher than anticipated tax revenues. Lower borrowing generally boosts bond prices by decreasing supply, sending yields down. Shifting to commodities, oil prices bounced back following Monday's heavy selling. Investors are tracking escalating Middle East tensions as the catalyst. Israel continued airstrikes in Lebanon, Syria and Gaza overnight while ramping up ground operations in Gaza. West Texas Intermediate crude regained 1.5% to near $83 per barrel. Zooming out, the S&P 500 remains on pace to retreat 2.8% in October, its third straight monthly decline. Japanese equities are bucking the downtrend with loose monetary policy providing a tailwind. The Nikkei 225's 18% year-to-date gain contrasts sharply with slumping US and European indices. In company highlights, AMD reported record quarterly revenue yesterday driven by its data center and embedded segments. However, its Q4 guidance fell short of estimates, sending shares down 6% after hours. General Motors lowered its full-year profit forecast on surging materials costs, though its Q3 earnings beat consensus. GM stock initially jumped 3% before paring gains. On the economic front, U.S. consumer confidence rose to 102.5 in October according to the Conference Board survey, rebounding from September's 9-month low. The uptick was driven by improving views on current conditions, while expectations regarding future growth remained gloomy. Analysts noted resilient consumer strength even as sentiment wavers. In housing, the S&P Case-Shiller Index recorded a 5.3% year-over-year home price increase in August, down from 5.9% in July. The slowdown reflects declining affordability as mortgage rates top 7%, stretching buyers' budgets. Prices are now decelerating in all 20 major cities tracked. Checking indices, the Nikkei 225 leads Asian indices higher with a 0.7% gain. Shanghai trades flat while the Hang Seng adds 0.3% following a tech rebound. In Europe, futures point to a positive open as earnings lift sentiment. Wall Street is also poised to open higher, recovering some of Monday's steep losses. Before proceeding with our analysis, we would like to remind you that your support is very important to us. If you enjoy this video and find our content helpful and engaging, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. This helps us grow and provide you with even more quality content. Now, let's get back to the news on the financial markets and the latest updates. First up, Solana SOL token was October's top performer with astonishing gains of 50% over the past month. This brings Sol's year-to-date increase to over 250%. The surge comes after last year's downturn when investors speculated about Solana's future following the collapse of FTX, one of the blockchain's biggest backers. The Solana community is currently convening its annual Breakpoint conference in Amsterdam. According to Messari's Solana Growth Report, the network must see a steady influx of new experiments and major adoptions to sustain momentum. Meanwhile, Bitcoin witnessed a solid 23% monthly gain in October, hitting a 16-month peak of $35,000 on October 23. Ethereum trailed behind with a more modest 3% uptick over the same period. Beyond Sol, Chainlink's Link token followed in second place with a 42% increase during October. In legal news, attorneys for FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried are attempting to have the jury in his fraud trial consider the role of English law in governing FTX's terms of service. They hope this may lead to non-guilty verdicts on some charges. The proposed jury instruction states that FTX's relationship with customers was governed by English law terms of service. Additional filings showcase precedent cases from the UK. This last-ditch effort aims to incorporate English legal principles before the jury begins deliberations next week. Shifting focus to crypto mining stocks, a new Bernstein report initiated coverage of North American mining enterprises which are gaining market share over China. The analysis singled out Riot Platforms and CleanSpark as top picks, citing their energy efficiency, low costs, and balance sheet liquidity. Bernstein forecasts continued mining industry consolidation with these leading operators expanding their edge. Recent data from RWA XYZ shows an enormous 590% growth in tokenized versions of U.S. Treasuries this year, ballooning from around $100 million to over $698 million currently. The drivers are new protocol launches and expanding activity on existing venues like Ondo Finance and Maple. For example, Trade Tech and True Fees Adapper generated $4.5 million and $8.5 million in deposits within the first month of launching this September. With intensifying competition between blockchain platforms, the tokenized treasury market is poised for additional exponential growth. Shifting to metrics, the total value locked in Layer 2 scaling solutions has broken past $12 billion, surpassing the former peak of $11.8 billion. Layer 2 networks accounted for a remarkable two-thirds of all Ethereum transactions in the third quarter of 2022 as adoption accelerates. Checking indices, the CoinDesk Market Index gained 0.7% to 1,332. Bitcoin trades around $34,500, down slightly, while Ethereum hovers at $1,807 following a 0.3% dip. In traditional markets, the S&P 500 rose 1.2% to 4,166 and the Nikkei 225 climbed 0.6% to match the S&P's gain. Gold also increased 0.6% to $2,008 per ounce. Key events this week. Eurozone CPI, GDP, Tuesday. U.S. Conference Board Consumer Confidence, Employment Cost Index, Tuesday. China Caixin Manufacturing PMI, Wednesday. UK S&P Global, SIPS UK Manufacturing PMI, Wednesday. U.S. Construction Spending, ISM Manufacturing, Job Openings, Light Vehicle Sales, Wednesday. All Saints Holiday in much of Europe, Wednesday. Treasury Quarterly Refunding Announcement, Wednesday. Federal Reserve Interest Rate Decision. Fed Chair Jerome Powell holds news conference, Wednesday. Eurozone S&P Global Eurozone Manufacturing PMI, Thursday. Bank of England Interest Rate Decision. Governor Andrew Bailey holds news conference, Thursday. U.S. Factory Orders, Initial Jobless Claims, Productivity, Thursday. Apple Earnings, Thursday. China Caixin Services PMI, Friday. Eurozone Unemployment, Friday. U.S. Unemployment, Non-Farm Payrolls, Friday. Canada Employment Report, Friday. Here are some of the main moves in markets. Stocks. The Stoxx Europe 600 rose 0.7% as of 10 a.m. London time. S&P 500 futures rose 0.2%. Nasdaq 100 futures were little changed. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.3%. The MSCI Asia Pacific Index fell 0.6%. The MSCI Emerging Markets Index fell 0.6%. Currencies. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index was little changed. The euro rose 0.4% to $1.0659. The Japanese yen fell 1% to 150.63 per dollar. The offshore yuan was little changed at 7.3307 per dollar. The British pound rose 0.1% to $1.2188. Cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin was little changed at $34,431.86. Ether rose 0.1% to $1,803.54. Bonds. The yield on 10-year treasuries declined 7 basis points to 4.83%. Germany's 10-year yield declined 3 basis points to 2.79%. Britain's 10-year yield declined 7 basis points to 4.49%. Commodities. Brent crude rose 0.3% to $88.13 a barrel. Spot gold was little changed. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for watching Market Briefing, market analysis, and financial news. If you enjoyed our insights and found the information helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with future analyses. Thank you again for your support, and we'll see you soon with more interesting news. Remember, the information in this video is purely informational and does not constitute investment advice. Always consult with a professional before making financial decisions.